Did you know that within you lies a power so vast that even the heavens are astonished by it? You are not merely flesh and bone. You are a breath of the infinite clothed in human form. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are not silent. They are currents sapping your world every single moment. To the spiritually awake. This is not a script, but to most, it sounds like mystery. Yet, this is the very mystery Ibn Arabi called al-khalq, insania, the divine reality hidden within man. You are not a small being looking at a great universe. You are the mirror in which the universe beholds itself. Truth own. You are the dreamer, and life is their dream. The prophet, peace be upon him, once said, "People are asleep, and when they die they awaken." What a profound truth! We live in a dream woven by our consciousness. Each thought, each feeling a thread in that tapestry. Ibn Arabi taught that Allah manifests himself through the mirrors of creation, and man is the clearest of those mirrors. When your heart is clear, the world becomes clear. When your inner world is troubled, the outer world seems dark. Everything you see around you begins first within you. Your fears paint shadows on the world. Your gratitude brings light. Your faith shapes the very air you breathe. You are both the dreamer and the dream. When you purify your inner vision, you change the reflection itself. Reality bends toward the clarity of your heart. To awaken spiritually is not to escape this dream, but to remember who is streaming through you. Each time you choose love over fear, mercy over anger, you are allowing the divine to see through your eyes once again. Truth too. Your purpose is joy. The greatest misconception is that life must be a burden, a long struggle full of pain and sacrifice. But the Sufis say the sign of the friend of God is joy. Allah created you not to suffer endlessly, but to know Him. And He is as Salam, the source of peace. Our Rahman, the ocean of compassion, and Anya, the light that shines in every heart. To live in joy is to live close to Him. When you find beauty in simple things, when your heart expands in gratitude, you are fulfilling the very purpose for which you were born. The Quran says, "And to your Lord is the final return." It means all joy, all peace, all longing. They return to the one who planted them within you. Of course, the world will test you. Shadows will sometimes cover your light. But even then the soul whispers, "This pain too belongs to my growth." Your task is not to chase happiness, but to return to the source of all happiness. When you live from that center, you become like a lamp. Wherever you go, others find warmth and light. Your presence itself becomes a form of remembrance, and your joy becomes an invitation for others to remember their own divine essence. That is worship in its highest form, living as a mirror of God's beauty. Truth 3. Everything happens for your growth. To a fearful heart, life often looks cruel. Loss, betrayal, illness, delay. They seem like punishments. But Ibn Arabi reminds us there is nothing in existence except mercy. Everything that happens to bring you closer to knowing Him. When calamity strikes, He is not hurting you. He is removing what kept you blind. Each heartbreak, each difficulty is a chiseling of the soul so that the hidden gem within may shine. Think of Yusuf. Peace be upon him, sold by his brothers, cast into a well, imprisoned unjustly. Yet every hardship was a step toward kingship. So too with you. The moments you curse as misfortune are often the very bridge to your destiny. When you understand this, you stop asking, "Why me?" and begin whispering, "What are you teaching me?" That is when you move from fear to faith. That is when you awaken to the truth that the universe is not against you. It is teaching you how to see. And when you begin to see, truly see, you realize that every experience, bitter or sweet, was written with the same ink of divine love. The conflicts that appear in your life are not accidents. They are written mercies. Each test you face carries a secret wisdom, carefully placed by the divinetto elevates you beyond who you were yesterday. Ibn Arabi said, "The real never repeats himself into moments." Every difficulty is a doorway to a new vision of your soul, a new name of Allah manifesting through you. Do not curse your hardships. They are hands that shape your heart. Each trial has been chosen for you, not to destroy you, but to burn away what you are not. When something collapses, perhaps it was never meant to stand. When something is taken, perhaps it was a veil between you and the one who gave vessel. The spiritually awake no longer cry, "Why is this happening to me?" They whisper instead, "What is Allah teaching me through this?" And the moment that question is asked sincerely, the pain itself begins to turn into light. From this perspective, tests are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to trust, to expand, to polish the mirror of your heart until it reflects only the divine. Once the mirror shines clear, the face you see in it is no longer your own. It is His. Truth, for love is the only reality. The saints say everything other than love is illusion. For the universe is woven from love. Rama, the very essence of God's being. The Quran begins with it in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. All existence is a reflection of that mercy, and all beings are droplets from same ocean of love. Ibn Arabi called love the religion of all religions, saying, "My heart has become capable of every form. Love is my religion and my faith. You and I, the trees, the stars, the rivers, all of us are expressions of one boundless love momentarily taking form before returning to the source. The pain, the jealousy, the hatred we feel, they arise when we forget the Trinity, when we believe we are separate waves rather than one sea. To awaken is to remember that separation is an illusion. When the veil lifts, you realize the one you call other is none but Allah appearing in another shape. That is why the truly awakened cannot harm, cannot hate, cannot envy, for they see no one but Him. When this love fills the heart, compassion flows naturally. You forgive easily. You speak gently, and you walk through the world as a servant of mercy. Your presence itself becomes a prayer. Every breath a remembrance, every act a reflection of divine tenderness. That is what it means to love for the sake of Allah, to see Him in all faces, to serve Him in all needs, to worship Him in every moment. Truth 5. There is nothing to attain. You already are. Many seekers spend years searching for enlightenment as if God were hiding somewhere far away, waiting to be found. But the Sufis smile and say, the beloved was in your heart before you began your search. You are not on your way to God. You are within Him now. You do not move toward the light. You are made of it. The ego whispers, I must earn holiness, but the soul Gnosi was created holy. The path of awakening is not about climbing higher. It is about removing veils that make you forget who you already are. The prophet, peace be upon him, said, whoever knows himself knows his Lord. You are not becoming divine. You are remembering your divinity as his reflection. Think of a mirror covered in dust. You need not build a new mirror. You only need to wipe away what hideth. Shine. Every prayer, every hardship, every moment of surrender wipes away no more veil. And one day the mirror becomes so clear that you no longer see yourself. Only the light behind the face. The saints and prophets were no different in substance. They simply remembered fully what we have forgotten. Ibn Arabi said, you are the Quran walking, the universe remembering itself. When you realize that, the search ends, not in exhaustion, but in wonder. You stop chasing and begin beholding. You stop striving and start trusting. The journey is no longer a climb, but Aiden's stop. There is no gate to enter, no exam to pass, no secret mantra to unlock the divine. You are already inside the secret you have always been. Look into the mirror of your soul and whisper, you are he, and he is you, not by identity, but by reflection. When you realize this, the world itself becomes luminous. Every leaf, every shadow, every face, all of it a verse from the eternal poem of the divine, the final truth, the one that silence cells seeking. Is this. Everything is good. Not good in the shallow sense of pleasure or comfort, but good in the divine sense, the higher al-mutlaq, the absolute goodness that pervades all things. Ibn Arabi said, there is nothing in existence but God, and God is pure goodness. To see this is to awaken beyond opposites, beyond pain and joy, gain and loss, birth and death. From that high place of witnessing, you realize that nothing has ever gone wrong. Every rise and fall, every wound and healing was part of the same divine artistry painting your soul toward completion. Even the moments that broke you were not mistakes. They were instruments through which the real taught you tenderness. When the veil lifts, judgment dissolves. You no longer call one thing blessing and another curse. You see the same light moving through events, arranging every atom, every breath with perfect wisdom. And then peace, a peace deeper than thought, settles in your heart. To the awakened heart, there is no complaint, for it sees the beloved's hand in all things. It trusts that even the storm carries mercy hidden in its clouds. It trusts that every delay conceals divine timing. It trusts that behind every silence, a voice is preparing to speak. This trust becomes your fortress, an unshakable faith that no matter how life unfolds, you are being guided by the same mercy that wrote the stars. Even when the path bends, you know it bends toward him. Even when understanding fails, your heart whispers, all is from you and all returns to you. You realize at last that you do not need to understand. You only need to surrender, for understanding belongs to the mind. But peace belongs to the soul. And when the soul bows, it hears our whisper rising from within. I was with you in every trial, in every silence, in every sigh. You were never alone. So now let the mind rest. Let the heart breathe. Trust that every chapter of your story, even the painful ones, was written by the pen of love. As Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. And Ibn Arabi echoed, the perfection of human being is to see perfection in all that is. That is the end of seeking. Not escape, but embrace. Not an answer, but an awakening. You realize the world is not broken. It is blooming. You were never falling. You were being carried. And in that knowing, you finally rest. The heart becomes still. And the universe, once strange and heavy, begins to hum softly. Everything you ever feared was already